to the Business of Apps podcast. We invite app industry professionals to cover various topics. We promise to do our best to keep it both insightful and brief. In this episode, we have Anastasiia Karlova, Head of Marketing at Plantin. Anastasiia, welcome to the Business of Apps podcast.
Hi, I'm very glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Terrific. Thank you for coming, Anastasiia. Okay, I'm going to start with setting the stage. Today, all businesses, brands, and marketers are focused on mobile. It is no brainer. People spend 2-3 hours a day on mobile devices. So much of the action is there. And yet, we still use laptops and desktop computers. Ask yourself, why would Apple introduce the macOS Sequoia iPhone mirroring app if desktop computers weren't still relevant? We do work on our favorite MacBooks and iMacs, watch movies, plan our next vacation, and so forth. It is just, for a few years since the iPhone was introduced, mobile was sucking out all the oxygen in the ad space. So, if you're an app marketer, for you the answer is clear. You need to work on both mobile and desktop ad spaces to grow your app user base and generate revenue. Web to app advertising is what we'll be talking about with Anastasiia today. But first, Anastasiia, let's begin with talking about you. Tell us about yourself.
I'm from Ukraine. I was excited by marketing science in the university as a way to connect companies and clients and like analytics and creativity. And for now, I've been in marketing, in app marketing for 5 years. I've started in small app studio where we launched 5 apps during the 1 year. And I learned a lot about development, analytics, user acquisition from the beginning, from the scratch. And then I came to Plantin as a performance marketer, and then I made my way to the head of marketing, and now I'm leading the marketing at this app and building this user acquisition process as well as community and so on. And recently I started to share my knowledge and experience with others. So here we are.
Yes, that's great. Sharing knowledge is always awesome. I applaud every marketer, every professional in this business who is not afraid to share his knowledge and help others. Okay, tell us about your company, Plantin. What do you guys do?
Plantin is one of the most downloaded apps for plant lovers and gardening. We help people to identify plants, their diseases by photos, and provide guidance how to grow them healthy and happy. We built our own ML recognition model, so we used this to build also another app, Coinin. It's for identifying coins and to know what the price of the coin is. And now we have 2 apps in our portfolio that are based on ML technology, and both of them are top of the niche. And we're doing this by performance marketing, basically. Also, Plantin is our flagman app with 22 million users, and it's almost 4 years old.
Awesome. Keeping plants happy. I think it's a pretty hard job to keep people happy. I can imagine how hard it is to keep plants happy.
Yeah, especially they are not talk.
Yeah, that's obviously a problem. Communication. That's the key. All right, let's talk about customized user journeys. Tell me about the strategies and tools you use to customize the user journey from the ad to onboarding and their impact on engagement and conversion rates.
Yes, sure. When we talk about customized user journey for apps, we are talking mainly about web-to-app funnel. It could be based on a funnel with the questions completely based on the web, or about the funnel that consists only one landing page and then push you to the store to download the app. Both of the way we are using, and that allow us to customize user journey, because it's not a black box, it's not the iOS media buying. So web to app is like the key in customizing user journey for iOS apps. We could customize, when we started to do web to app, we could customize landings and CPPs, and the idea of full customization came in, and our team made this happen. I know a lot about tools like Adapty, when you can test paywalls, customized experiences, and so on, but we use our own tools, our own developed features to make this more customizable and more flexible from our side. The biggest impact on performance that we got, it was when we released the new feature for the app. Last year we added mushroom identification, and the biggest challenge that we got there was ads. We were promoted mushrooms, mushroom identification, and then a user ended up in the plant app, where he should figure out by himself where to find the mushroom identification and how it should look like. So we started to build a fully customizable funnel in the app. So after seeing ads about mushroom, a user can see a custom product page with the mushrooms that prove that we identify them, and then after downloading the app, user also see onboarding about the mushrooms and paywall that promise him to identify is it edible or non-edible, and this was the trick that we made this happen. And after that we started to put it in a different ways with different creatives about plants, about different diseases, and so on. The biggest changes was actually with mushroom, but with plants it also has higher engagement on Facebook campaigns, because it's more consistent. Users are more likely to convert because they see what they're expected to see.
Excellent. When you mentioned mushrooms, my first thought was actually magic mushrooms, but from what you're describing, it's just regular mushrooms.
No, it's just regular mushrooms, like when you're going hiking and you see the mushroom and you would like to, you have a thought like, should I pick up it or not?
And jokes aside, user journey may sound a little bit grandiose, but essentially it's about the process of effective guiding somebody from the first page they can see on their website to the landing page on the App Store. You need to explain why you're asking for a specific piece of information throughout this journey, explain it very plainly, and create a safe environments for somebody to go through the process, grab your app, and become your customer. Okay, what are the biggest challenges in transforming to web to app funnel, and how do you ensure a seamless user experience and high opt-in rates?
I think the best thing is that you don't need to deal with opt-in rates. Like you're just skipping that part, because this is considering like web campaigns and web experience. So limitation about iOS 14 are not working here, and you just have all the information you can get based on clicks. And it's user-based, so yeah, it's the best part, I think, here. And one of the biggest challenges are to make sure that you have a good match rate, actually, between amount of errands you got on your site and the one that ads receive, because these technical parts matters. You are doing with the ads, and they are very sensitive to the amount of information they are getting from you on the signals. And this kind of experience is sometimes very hard to align perfectly. So the information is 100% equivalent on one side and another side. So we had times when there were a lot of discrepancies, but with a good technician, with a good development team, you can beat it and you can overcome this challenge. Also, the next challenge we get that you should find your setup, like your perfect setup you can work with a long time on the long run, because for us this funnel, web-to-app funnel, it became basic and primary for different tests, like for product tests, for creative tests, and so on. So you need one perfect setup to run tests on them, so your tests are not ruined by some fluctuation in the performance of your full funnel, of your landings or funnels or quizzes and so on. So it took time, but when you find this, you can keep on going with experiments, but in the same time you have like your stable working setup, so you can be more stable with your performance too.
Yeah, this is great to hear that the problem with the opt-in rates and that famous Apple's requirement requires you to ask your users for permission to be tracked. It's not applicable to web-to-app funnel, so here you can be focused on other issues, and this is not one of the issues on your agenda. Now, which internal tools and third-party solutions do you use for campaign management? And how does automation improve your marketing efficiency and outcomes?
We use a Reveal bot for campaign management, so we can have more control over our budgets, bids, and CPAs. We have different rules for different occasions, like to turn off, to turn on, and to increase the budget, for example. Especially it's useful in the middle of the night because our team is based in Ukraine and we are working primarily with US, Canada, and so on. So the peak time when the ads are active, it's out of our control, it's our night. So these tools basically came in to save us from this night and unpredicted situation, but then we implemented them to every step of our work, and we are really happy about this because it saves time and saves ROI. Also, we have our internal tool to launch campaign automatically through API. Several years ago, we made it for tests, for creative tests, and now it's much more. It launched campaign for tests. It's duplicating campaign where when we find something successful, and so on. And this automation, I think, saving us time for one marketer. I think, like our team can do a huge amount of job with smaller resources and with less people. So we have more time to think, to analyze, to make some hypotheses based on this, and not doing the monkey job with just setting up the campaigns.
Absolutely, Anastasia. It's one extra feature that didn't occur to me previously, that on many occasions, it's not only about increasing the efficiency of your team and increasing their productivity. It's just managing those cases where they're just not being able to touch anything in the campaign management because they have to sleep sometimes.
Yes, sure.
And especially we have big company with teams sitting around multiple time zones, and that would be simply impossible to be as efficient if you cannot automate your campaign management. So yeah, this is really great. And of course, you do want to be spending your time on creative part of your business and automate as much as you can, which can be automated, and left to a machine, so to speak. Okay, this is great. These were the questions I wanted to ask about the topic on the table today. And here comes the second quick funny part. For every newcomer, every new guest on the show, I have a few quick questions that I like to ask so we can know you a little bit better.
Sure,
Here they
far
come.
away.
What smartphone do you have now? Have you been switching between these two giants, iOS and Android, or staying one side all the time?
Now I have iPhone 13, and I'm planning to change this year, but now it's 13. My first iPhone was in 2018. 2018, and since then I'm only on the Apple side, and I'm not planning to go to Android anymore. Before that, I was using Android.
I see. So you were converted to iOS.
Yeah.
Okay, before the era of iPhone, before you began using smartphones, what was your phone, the first mobile phone, the one you could put in your pocket, if you had any?
Yeah, I had, but it was actually very progressive. It was not like old Nokia or something, because I didn't have didn't have phone when I was a child, and first phone I got, I was a teen already, and I got a red slider Fly, if you know this like trademark. And it was with a touch screen. It had a touch screen, but not like the one that we have now when you can put your finger. It was more like stylus based. You needed the stylus to operate with it. So it had a touch screen as well as a keyboard, so you can switch between them.
Cool. I used to have a phone myself, but I never knew that it actually had the kind of a smartphone version, in the same park as the Trello and BlackBerry used to have. All right, back to present. So imagine you left your iPhone 13 at home for whatever reason, you're out. What would be the most missing feature for you?
Payments, because I never have the cash with me, and I used to like just to put your phone everywhere. So yeah, I think I couldn't survive, and even to pay for transportation or some kind of this stuff, I couldn't do this.
Total makes sense. Apple Pay everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. What new technologies are you most excited about? Hardware, software feature, something for your phone that will make it a better tool for you. Not necessarily something trendy or flashy, but something that would make a better tool, better phone to use.
I think I'm very like not traditional, but very conservative with the phones. I'm using mostly Instagram, Messenger, and camera. So every time I'm watching Apple presentation, I'm making like, oh, wow, that's cool, and then I never use it. So for me, it's maybe because I'm working with apps, I'm trying to limit my screen time, and mostly I'm using social media, and like I know a lot about some apps that are new, that hit the market and use some new prominent technologies, or just reusing something. But for me, like I just keep it simple.
Gotcha. You want to get some rest from tech when you're on your own, not working.
Yes.
Totally makes sense for me. Okay, before I let you go, a very, very final question. How can people get in touch with you and get more information about what you do?
I think you can contact me on LinkedIn, or you can find me on Facebook. like you have more chances on LinkedIn because I rarely use Facebook. It's Anastasiia Karlova, and I think you can find me there.
Terrific, Anastasiia. Thank you so much for your time and coming on our show. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
And that was Anastasiia Karlova, Head of Marketing at Plantin. To listen to more episodes, subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube podcasts. Just search for Business of Apps and you will find us easily. Remember, we release episodes on Mondays. So subscribe and you will be able to get new episodes on your smartphone, tablet, or computer as soon as we release them. And please don't forget to leave us a review or comment on iTunes. It is highly appreciated. And all episodes will also be available on businessofapps.com. Thank you for listening. See you next week.